Well, today's haul is from H&M, and you've got to love a bit of H&M. My last haul from them was such a success, and when I could see that things were popping into the sale, I couldn't resist. Can't remember what I bought, but I can remember that they were exceptionally good prices. So let's find out together what's in this bag. Right, H&M in their plus size range, and probably in the other ranges, I don't know, because obviously I just focus on the plus size. They go by large, extra large, XXL, and the size guide there is quite good, and it tells you the UK equivalent. I am a size 22, I'm 5'4" tall. Those size ranges go something like 18, 20, 22, 24. So I'm not an 18, I have to be a realistic. Size 18 is not going to fit me, even if it is a generous size 20. So today everything is in an XXL, which is a 22, 24. This is a sophisticated pattern. It's this muted sort of coral colour with this really nice sort of botanical print on it. It's got greens, it's got highlights of pink, yellow, sort of like an ochre colour, sort of a more citrusy green yellow. Now it is long sleeved, so this is going to be perfect for me if on those evenings I'm away on holiday, and it's got an elasticated wrist there. It is V-neck, so that's really flattering for a full bust, and it is basically just a shirt style, although these buttons are really nice on this sort of Rolo stretchy, and they're covered. I do love covered buttons. I think it just adds a little bit more sort of quality to an item. There is this little tie belt just to cinch you in just a little bit at the waist there, and then it goes down to this tier. This is going to be a long dress on me. I knew that from looking at the model. I'm probably going to put a side by side in actually, so that you can see what it looks like on the model, because isn't it good to know how things look in reality on a plus size woman compared to a model. Liking this. Now, what are the sleeves called when they're on a diagonal? Not sure. Hopefully somebody in the comments will remind me. But £17 in a double XL. This is a fabulous dress, and it's got a little bit of weight to actually. Very, very nice. I'm in love with monochrome. I don't know what it is about it, because it's two of the most plainest everyday colours you could imagine, aren't they? There's something about a monochrome that just looks very elegant, very sophisticated, and of course so easy to coordinate with. This is an off-the-shoulder poplin dress. Let me go back to the sleeves. This puff sleeve detail here with elastication, and this neckline here is completely elasticated, so it will go off the shoulders and stay there hopefully. It goes down to 3 lines of sort of elastication on the waistband there, and that is substantial. That wants to come back in, believe me. Then it goes down to a full plain skirt. In the sale for £14. What an absolute bargain. Can't tell you the original prices of these items because it's not on my invoice and it's not on the dress. But for £14, I think this is a super, super dress. Well, if I thought that monochrome dress was a bargain at £14, this one at 10 is an absolute steal, isn't it? Again, monochrome. This time it's just a smaller black pattern on this sort of off-white cream background. Oh, this is really, really nice. These sleeves are lined because they've got that sort of encased elastication so that the sleeve will puff over the shoulder. It's also got a really nice binding around this neckline before it then goes into these buttons. I'm not so keen on these buttons. They're not covered and they're sort of like a polarized sort of natural colour. Not sure how they are going to blend in with the dress. Oh, it's got a nice weight to it in this poplin, and although I think it is going to be a little bit see-through, it's not completely sheer. Right, goes down to this full skirt here, and there is a more substantial tie sash on this dress to pull you in as well. No elastication. It is a straight up and down, but I can see by the shape that it does flare out over the skirt. Oh, some pockets would have been nice in this dress because it is going to flare out, but for £10, my goodness me, this is a really good quality fabric. I like the style, I like the pattern. This, I hope, is a keeper. This dress really reminds me of the one that I showed you from Machine. That had more sort of like yellow sort of tropical flowers on. This one is more sort of like a green palm tree pattern, but it's very reminiscent of that colour palette. Something I'm obviously drawn to and I like. This is a collared dress. You can see that the collar is there. Comes down to a V. That should be flattering. And then my covered buttons that I really do like. This one, a grown on sort of dolman sleeve. You can see how these dresses are all sort of similar but so different, how they've changed up the styling by just making adjustments to the sleeve. The back of the dress is elasticated, just a fine elastication, and at first I thought this was also elasticated, but it's just gathered. So either side of the buttons, they've just got these gathered seam here, so it brings it in. Hopefully it will emphasize my waist in the right place, but if not, they've got a little sash belt to tie around too. Full skirt, and you can see that big bold summery palm tree pattern there. I'm loving this dress. I'm on the lookout for some new summery type dresses because my holiday wardrobe is predominantly sort of focused towards cruising, but this time I'm just sort of like sunning myself at an all-inclusive hotel, so I need more sort of basic summery dresses, especially as I don't cope very well with the heat, and this is a lovely fine cotton fabric, so it should be ideal. Have you seen my recent Asda haul where I found a beautiful cotton white top? And it's obviously what I'm looking for. I'm loving this one too. This was £10. It's got this open sort of cut work, fretwork, rounded collar going down to a V. And then it's quite a plain bottom there. I'm worried it's going to be a little bit short, and I'm worried that once it's sort of cleared my bosom, it's going to then stick out. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But look at that lovely double frill sleeve there, and again in a super lightweight cotton fabric that should be very cool to wear. So the back has a sort of yoke across the back. Hopefully that means it won't stick out. Quite often I find, because of the size, especially if it is in a shorter length, it sort of comes out here and then sort of comes down, but the back will also stick out. I don't know if you can see, there's a mark on it here. Just there, just a tiny little dot. You probably can't see it, but my eagle eyes picked up on that. But I think, yeah, I can definitely see it when I hold it up. I hope you can see that and you don't think I'm just nitpicking. But I really do like this top because it's what I'm in the market for. And if you saw my Sainsbury's haul, wouldn't that look fabulous with that coral and white skirt? I'm going to try that on together to show you, and hopefully it does. So for £10, what a beautiful cotton top this is. This is something totally different, and I knew it was going to be short, but I was thinking of using it as a beach cover up. You can see sort of how sheer this is. Now, I've only got this in an XL. I can only assume they didn't have the double XL. Actually, I seem to remember that the reviews were saying that it comes up very large. And that's probably why I went for the XL. Because I find if a dress is quite short and it's quite boxy, I just end up looking very, very sort of like square. It's actually more substantial than I thought, because although the back is unlined and it's quite sheer there, the bodice is lined with sort of like a nylon lining. Obviously they're aware that you don't want anything to be showing. Again, that double frill detail on the sleeves are so pretty and feminine, and just like this top, you know, I do like that double frill because it just adds that sort of feminine touch and it squares me out at the top. And if this is bigger, this looks more in proportion. Very nice. It goes down to a deep V. Oh, I've just spotted something I might not like though. These sleeves come down across here, and I've had a dress from Matalan quite recently, I think, and it just looked awful. Was it from Matalan or one of the catalogues? I've had two very similar lilac dresses recently, and they both had that sort of issue of coming down, and it's not flattering if you've got a full figure. I didn't realise that because, of course, the images online don't come over very clear when it's black. And then it goes down to this full skirt with this one little tier, and again that is lined, so maybe it's not going to be as suitable as I was hoping for that beach pool cover up. I thought just over a plain black swimsuit and you're protected then, aren't you? You're modest. The length just for a dress, oh, that is short. People say I've got good legs. I can't say I totally agree with you, and that would be verging on short for me. Right, let's try these things on, because that is the only way to know if something is good fit and flattering for you. And I always say try everything on. Don't just stick to your normal styles. Try everything on, because sometimes you're just amazingly surprised. And I hope I'm amazingly surprised today. Are you enjoying this content? I certainly hope you are, because it makes my time worthwhile, makes your time worthwhile watching. But 75% of you aren't subscribed. Push that subscribe button now, and then you can come back and you can watch me again. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe you wouldn't want to, but I hope you do. This dress is absolutely beautiful. I love the pattern because I think it really elevates it. I think it really brings it up and it looks quality. I could imagine this in like Monsoon or the sort of shops of those ilk. It's got a slightly boho feel about it, and it doesn't look cheap. Very long on me. I mean, I knew it was going to be, and that's the boho type vibe, isn't it? I could take it up a little bit. As you can see, those buttons come down to about knee length and expose just a little bit of my leg. Not too much when I walk though. It's covered up because I've got so much fabric here. Some pockets might have been nice, but then, you know, I would just complain that it's bulking out. The sleeves, if I was to have them full length, are slightly long. Thankfully, we've got that elastication just to push them back and just add a little bit of detail there. I like these sleeves here. Nothing too fussy here, and you know I say I need it here to sort of broaden me out, but because this V starts at quite a wide point and goes down, it's flattering, and whatever these sleeves are called add to that flattering style. Those covered buttons merge in beautifully with this print. That little tie belt is on those sort of thread belt loops. A little bit cheap, but it also means I haven't got bulgy belt loops here. They are small and they're unobtrusive, so that's good. If I undo the tie, you can see what a big oversized sort of tunic this is. So you definitely need this tie belt just to bring it in. And I do wonder if I had a really nice tie belt, would that look nicer? I feel that I need to blowsen it up just a little bit just to add to that definition, but it stays in place beautifully. I can't resist a look in the mirror. This is a really lovely dress. I think I could wear it in the evening on holidays. Equally, I could wear it to like a christening or a party and feel really comfortable, especially in our UK weather days where a bit of coverage is often needed. So yes, £17. This is a keeper. Wow. Don't say that I don't show you everything, because this dress is the only time that anybody is ever going to see me wearing it. I made a mistake sizing down to this XL size. Obviously those reviews weren't as honest as I thought, because this is very tight across the bosom and very tight across the top. This seam here is hitting me in completely the wrong place. It's not on my waist at all. It seems to be halfway up my back and probably hitting me too high here too. The thing that I was worried about, the sleeves, I actually like them, and this frill that then comes down. I think without it being too prominent in this black is fine. I get away with it. The skirt has got plenty of room and the lining's not even too tight either. But of course, that is sort of like a polyester fabric and it's going to be quite hot and sweaty. I think the idea is it's quite a floaty sort of like little princess dress. The length, oh my goodness me. One gust of wind and I'm going to expose everything. I'm not liking this dress at all. Can you tell? I think you can tell. You know by now that I will rave about anything that I like. I think the V is very flattering, and can you see what I mean about these sleeves sort of broadening me out up here? But no, I'm afraid this is not for me. H&M, what are you doing to me? Because I love this dress. Yes, it is wide swooping. Yes, I'm quite substantially exposed. And yes, I feel that this portion here from here to here is quite skimpy. I've got one shoulder on. You can easily wear it on the shoulder if you feel uncomfortable with it off the shoulder. But this sleeve does feel a little bit tight at this point rather than this one, which I feel is lower down because I've got it off the shoulder more. These lines of elastic are doing exactly what I want them to do, cupping me in, making me look thinner from my smallest point, which is here, not necessarily my waist, and then the dress is just scooping out over my hips. So there's no frills or flares around the bottom. I think I could easily take this one up, and the length just a little bit too long. Off the shoulder, yes, I think that would be the way to go, just to add a little bit of vavum. Like I say, the only thing I'm concerned about is this proportion here. if I'm being honest, I think I would have preferred it just a little bit higher to maintain my modesty. But this elastication is good. If I bend over, I'm not exposing too much. What a fabulous dress this is for £14. And did I mention this cotton is a crisp cotton? Feels very, very nice indeed. Well, this H&M haul is coming up with a bit of a problem for me, but I've come up with a solution. I'm going to be keeping practically everything because I love this dress. The length is absolutely perfect for me. I really like this neckline. I feel a little bit more covered up. There's different days you feel like being dressed differently, don't you? And these gathers from this band here just means that it falls over the bosom nicely. I like these sleeves. They're not too tight at all, but they do what they are designed to do and give me nice big puffball sleeves there. I haven't even really noticed those buttons that I complained weren't covered and just looked a little bit cheap. I think in the overall look of the dress, they're lost in that detail. So I really do like this dress. Again, those little cotton sort of belt loops there. I've done this sash up in a double sort of knot rather than a bow. Although there are plenty of like TikToks and hacks that you can find. If I undo it, you can see what a loose fitting sort of shirt style tunic this is. And I've got a lot of room in it, but it didn't feel it when I ruched it up. Could I get away with this as a just sort of like a loose fitting dress? Oh no, I've just looked in the mirror. This is definitely sort of a night dress look now, isn't it? So you definitely need this tie belt just to cinch you in, just to sort of elevate the look of the dress. So I've tied it in the bow there so you can see the difference. But I always seem to have bits sticking up and out. You definitely need to bluesen it out just a little bit so it doesn't feel like it's just sort of tied it in. Not too much though, because I feel it is widening me, and then you've got to try to get the pleats in the right place. But for £10, come on, this is such a bargain. If you were to try and make this, you couldn't even buy the fabric for £10. And this is a beautiful pattern. Monochrome, but it's light and airy and pretty. And you can tell this is a keeper. This is a shame because I like the pattern of this one, and it is such a change from those two monochrome ones I've just shown you. This in a 2XL, the same as the others, is just too tight across here. It's just too close fitting. The style of it doesn't emphasize my best. Although, you know, those others were very wide fitting dresses, so maybe they just added bulk to me. I'll review the footage and let you know, but this one definitely feels too tight across the tummy. You know what I'm going to say? Across here and here. Such a shame because it is such a lightweight dress. It's such a sort of really lightweight cotton fabric. The collar means that this V is sitting very nicely. The sleeves are generous. They're not cutting me or too tight for me at all. I did this belt up, but it's this here. It's just too tight. There isn't enough give in that elastication. Maybe if I had some elastication here instead of just this gathering, it would be better. I feel the buttons are pulling just a little bit here, but you can't really see because you've got this placket behind, and of course those buttons are covered so that they merge in beautifully with the rest of the dress. Unfortunately, this is not a keeper. It's just that little bit too small for me. Well, oh dear, the sizing again is a little bit off in this 2XL. From there, I don't think it looks too bad, although these frill sleeves are certainly frill sleeves. I like this fretwork still, that's very nice, and I like this collar, how it comes around. Maybe a little stitch there, no, keep it open so you can see that V. It feels too big, and because it's too big, it's sort of not flowing properly. It's not hanging well. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm getting these sort of folds here, and if I turn to the side, you can see again my bust is making it shorter here, and I'm getting that sort of bagginess at the back. I called it. I could tell as soon as I saw it, but of course when it's on the website I couldn't see it. You'll hopefully be seeing the side by side and you'll see what I mean. I teamed it with the skirt that I recently got from Sainsbury's, at Sainsbury's, a bargain in the sale. I'm still not convinced about this top. I felt I needed to sort of blouse that out, and then I just feel a very sort of cylinder shape, especially around the back where I've got all this excess fabric. That yoke isn't enough to bring in that fabric. I feel that I should have sized down in this one, but you saw what happened when I sized down in the black dress. Didn't fit me, so I'm probably somewhere in between those two sizes. Such a shame, because this is a absolutely fabulous top for £10. So what were your thoughts about all these different things from H&M? Am I right in keeping those 3 dresses? The long sleeve floral coral dress and the 2 monochrome dresses. The other 3 items will be getting returned. Possibly more if you tell me that the dresses just did not suit me. And I often appreciate your comments and your feedback, so please leave them down below, as well as a thumbs up. And of course, push that subscribe button. Just come back, see me again, and I'll see you then.